Welcome to Computer Science class. In the last video, we discussed about selective programming constructs. In this video, we discuss iterative programming constructs. Iterative programming constructs. Sometimes while writing the program, the set of statements are repeatedly executed. Sometimes the set of statements are repeatedly executed depending on the condition. In such a situation, we use iterative programming constructs. Here iterative means repetitive. Repeatedly we execute the set of statements depending on the condition. That is, we call it as iterative programming constructs. And the constructs are the statements in the program. Then the iteration means the set of statements are repeatedly execute based on the certain condition. Then in an iterative programming construct, there is a two types. The first one is conditional programming constructs. Conditional programming constructs. Then second one is unconditional programming constructs. Unconditional programming constructs. There is two types of iterative programming constructs. The first one is conditional programming construct. The second one is unconditional programming constructs. In a conditional programming construct, the set of statements are repeatedly executed until certain condition is satisfied. In a conditional programming construct, the set of statements are repeatedly executed. Until certain condition is satisfied. Here we not know the number of iterations. It is depending on the conditions. But in an unconditional programming construct, we know the number of iterations. We pre-know the number of iterations. Here also, the set of statements are repeatedly executed. But here we know the number of iterations. Hence, these are the unconditional. We know the number of iterations, but in a conditional, we not know the number of iterations. The example for conditional programming constructs are while and do while. While and do while are the example for conditional programming construct. Then the example for unconditional is for. For statement is an example for unconditional iterative programming construct. So here the difference between conditional and unconditional is, in a conditional we not know the number of iterations. It depends on the condition. In unconditional there is a condition, but we pre-know the number of iterations. That is the major difference between conditional and unconditional. Let's we discuss while, do while and for in detail. First consider the while construct. So in a while construct, the set of statements are repeatedly executed until certain condition is satisfied. In a while, the set of statements set of statements are repeatedly execute until certain condition is satisfied. Until certain condition is satisfied. That is the definition of while. Here, the set of statements are repeatedly executed. Then see the syntax. Syntax means predefined format. The syntax begins with the keyword while, where while is a keyword, then followed by condition, then statement. Condition, then statement. This is the syntax of while. So here, while is a keyword, condition is a expression, it returns either true or false. Then statements are, it may be input statement, output statement, or an assignment statement, any executable instruction. Where while is a keyword, where keywords are the reserved words. These meanings are already explained to the compiler. Here compiler is a translator. It translates high level language to machine level language. So keywords are the reserved words. These are reserved in the programming. Those meanings are already explained to the compiler. That is, here the keyword while. Say while is already explained to the compiler. What we do while is encountered to the compiler. That is explained to the compiler. So while is a keyword. Condition is an expression. Normally it is a relational expression. It returns true or false. Expression, it returns either true or false. It returns either true or false. Then statement. It may be single statement or group of statements. Here group of statements are called compound statements. Say statements are grouped under curly braces. Are called compound statement. So here either it is a single statement or group of statements. Then here statements are any executable instructions. Here executable instructions means it may be input statement or output statement or an assignment statement. See the working principle of while. First while is evaluated, where while is a keyword, then verify the condition. If the condition is true, the set of statements are executed. After execution, again we verify the condition. If it is true, same set of statements are repeatedly executed once. Again verify the condition. So when the condition returns false, then the control comes out of the while statement. That is the working principle. See the definition. The set of statements are repeatedly executed. So how the set of statements are repeatedly executed? Until certain condition is satisfied. Here there is a condition. First verify the condition. If it is true, statements are repeatedly executed. After that, again we verify the condition. If it is true, same set of statements are repeatedly executed. When the condition returns false, then the compiler comes out of the while construct. That is the working principle of while. See the flow chart. Here flow chart means it is a diagrammatic representation. First we verify the condition. is condition question mark have true part. Condition have true part and false part. True part and false part. If it is true, statements are executed. Statements are executed. After that, again we verify the test condition. See the difference between selective programming construct and iterative programming construct. In a selective programming construct, just we have to take a decision whether the succeeding statements are executed or not. Here we have to execute a statement once, either it is executes or not. We take a decision. But in an iterative programming construct, the same set of statements are repeatedly executed. Same set of statements are repeatedly executed depending on the condition. If it is condition true, condition is true, statements are executed, see the control, again we have to verify the same condition. Again if it is true, same set of statements are executed, again we have to verify the condition. After every successful execution, we have to verify the condition. That is the meaning of iterative or repetitive. When condition returns false, we exit from the while. We exit from the while construct. Here, exit from the while means we have to execute the rest of the statement. Remaining statements are executed. If the condition does not satisfy the false result, then same set of statements are repeatedly executed. While constructing the while construct, take a care about the condition. Say sometimes after some executions, it must return false result. Otherwise, the program reaches the error. It returns the error. Those errors are called runtime errors. So the condition must return say false after some execution. If it is false, then it exits from the iteration. That is the working principle of while. Then second one is do while. In a do while also, the set of statements are repeatedly executed until certain condition is satisfied. It is also same set of statements are repeatedly executed until certain condition is satisfied. But the difference between while and do while is, in a while, initially we verify the condition. If it is true, say statements are executed. But in a do while, first the statements are executed, then we verify the condition. If it is true, same set of statements are repeatedly executed. There is no changes in the definition, but the working principles are different. See the syntax. In a do while, first the statements are executed. That is, we start with do. First, the statements are executed, then we verify the condition, then while condition. Then also it is terminated. See the sentence. Do statements while. The statements are written inside the curly braces. Where do and while. Both do and while are the keywords. Both do and while are the keywords. Statements, either statement or statements. Statements are any executable instructions. Any executable instructions. Then condition. Condition is a expression. Condition is a expression returns returns true or false. It returns either true or false. Let's see the working principle of do while. In a do while, first the statements are executed. Then verify the condition. If it is true, same set of statements are repeatedly executed. When the condition returns false, when the test condition returns false, then control come out of the execution. See the flow chart. First statements are executed. Then verify the test condition. Is condition question mark. If it is true, same set of statements are executed. If it is false, exit from the execution. It is only exit from the do while construct, not the program. It will exit from the do while construct, not the program. See, first statements are executed, then verify the condition. If it is true, again same set of statements are executed. Again we verify the test condition. If it is true, same set of statements are executed. Hence, this is a iterative programming construct. Then we not know the number of iteration, not know the number of repetition. Hence, it is a conditional programming construct. Conditional iterative programming construct. The number of iterations are depends on the condition. If the condition returns false, then exit the do while construct. While and do while are the conditional programming construct. In a conditional programming construct, the set of statements are repeatedly executed until certain condition is satisfied. Discuss the differences between while and do while constructs. Both are conditional programming construct. See the while and do while. The first difference is while is a pre-test. While is a pre-tested programming construct. Pre-tested, but do while is a post-tested. While is a pre-tested, do while is a post-tested. Then second one is in while. First condition is verified. Then statements are executed. In a while, first verify the condition. If it is true, then statements are executed. But in a do while, first statements are executed. Then verify the condition. Hence, it is a pre-tested. In a while, first we verify the condition. Then, if it is true, statements are executed. Hence, it is a pre-tested. But in a do while, first statements are executed. Then we verify the condition. Hence, it is a post-tested. Then third one is if initially condition is false, if initially condition is false, statements are not executed even once. Initially, if the test condition is false, the statements are not executed even once. But in a do while, if condition is initially false, if the condition remains initially false, then also statements are executed once. If the test condition initially false, then also the statements are executed at least once in do while. And fourth difference is while is not terminated. It is not terminated. That is, it is not ended with a semicolon. So semicolon is called terminator. So while is not terminated. But do while is terminated. It is terminated. Here termination means ended with a semicolon. The syntax is ended with a semicolon. So these are the four differences between while and do while. So in the fifth difference, we write the syntax. That is, in a while begins with keyword while followed by condition, then statements. So statements are written inside the curly braces, or we write end while. In a do while, first it begins with do followed by statements, then while condition semicolon. So these are the differences between while and do while. So in the first difference, while is a pre-tested. The while is also called pre-tested iterative construct. Then do while is also called post-tested iterative construct. So while are the pre-tested because in a while construct, first we verify the statement, verify the condition. If it is true, statements are executed. So here, do whiles are called post-tested because in a do while, first statements are executed once. It is not depends on the condition. Then verify the condition. Hence, do while is a post-tested. Then in the third difference is in while, if initially condition is false, condition returns false, statements are not executed. Even once. But in a do while, if condition is initially false, it returns false initially, then statements are also executed once. Because in a do while, first statements are executed, then verify the condition. So first iteration is not depends on the condition. So first statements are executed, then verify the test condition. If it is false, then it executes. Otherwise, if it is true, same set of statements are repeatedly executed. In both while and do while, these statements are repeatedly executed until certain condition is satisfied. But in the fourth difference, while is not terminated. See, this is that while statement is not ended with a semicolon, so it is not terminated. But do while is terminated. See this syntax. First it begins with do followed by statements, then while, condition. After while condition, there is a semicolon. The semicolon indicates it is a end of the line or termination of the line. So do while is terminated by semicolon. That is the fourth difference. The fifth difference, we write the syntax of while and do while. Say in examination we have a question to differentiate while and do while. It is asked for 3 marks. For 3 marks. Let's discuss the iterative statement, that is for. For is an unconditional iterative statement. Why it is unconditional? We know the number of iterations. We pre-know the number of iterations. Hence, it is an unconditional programming construct. In a for, the set of statements are repeatedly executed in a fixed number of time. Hence, for is also called fixed iteration. While is a pre-tested, do while is a post-tested, then for is a fixed tested. That is, we know the number of iterations. We pre-know the number of iterations. So, in a for, the set of statements are repeatedly executed in a fixed number of times. We know the number of iterations. See the syntax of for. It begins with keyword for. Then followed by expression 1 semicolon, expression 2 semicolon, then expression 3 semicolon. Then close the bracket. Expression 1, expression 2, then expression 3. Then followed by statements. Either it is statement or statements. Close the curly braces. This is the syntax of for. Where for is a keyword. Expression 1 is a initialization. Expression 1 is a initialization. Expression 2, EXP2, that stands for expression 2 is a condition. Expression 2 is a condition. Expression 3 is a increment or decrement. Then statements. Statements are any executable instructions. Therefore, have 3 expressions. Expression 1, expression 2, and expression 3. Then there is a statements. So see the working principle of for. First, the expression 1 is evaluated. So expression 1 have initialization. That is, the variable is initialized. After initialization, the expression 2 is evaluated. Expression 2 is a condition. So verify the condition. If it is satisfied, if it is true, statements are executed once. After execution of the statement, expression 3 is evaluated. Expression 3 have increment or decrement part. Either the variable is incremented or decremented. After that, again expression 2 is evaluated. That is, condition is evaluated. If it is true, statements are executed. After expression 3 is evaluated, after that expression 2 is evaluated, it goes on continuing. So while expression 2 returns false. If the expression 2 is written false, then the control come out of the iterative construct for construct. So I explain once. So expression 1 is a initialization, expression 2 is a condition, expression 3 is either increment or decrement. Then statements are any executable instruction, that is it may be into statement, out to statement or an assignment statement. Then first initialization is evaluated. So in a for statement, initialization is evaluated only once. After that, expression 2, that is condition, is verified. If the condition is true, statements are executed once. So after execution, either increment or decrement part is evaluated. Either increment or decrement part is evaluated. Again we verify the expression. If it is true, same set of statements are executed. Again increment or decrement part is evaluated. If it is true, verify the condition, statements are executed. For every condition true, same set of statements are repeatedly executed. When the condition returns false, the control comes out of the iteration. See the flow chart of construct. So first there is a for loop. See the diagram to represent a for loop. Already we discussed with the flow chart concept. So CV, IV to FE, where CV stands for control variable, IV stands for initial variable, FE stands for final variable. Then verify the condition. Verify the condition within the for. If it is true, statements are executed. After that, control variable again verify the same for loop. Again move on to the same for loop. Here verify the control variable and increment and decrement part. If it is true, same set of statements are executed. If it is false, control returns false, then exit from the iteration. If it is true, statements are executed. After execution, again we verify the condition. If the condition is false, then the control exits from the for construct. That is the working principle of for. So in a for, it is a fixed iterative construct. We know the number of iteration. We pre-know the number of iteration. Hence, it is a fixed iterative construct. So in a for, expression have three parts. First one is expression 1, expression 2, expression 3. Where expression 1 is a initialization, expression 2 is a condition, expression 3 is either increment or decrement part. If the condition is true, then the set of statements are executed. After execution, we verify the expression 3, that is increment or decrement part. After that, we verify the condition. If it is true, same set of statements are executed. If the condition is false, it exits from the iteration. So, in this video, we discuss iterative construct. The iterative constructs are while, do while, and for. Thank you.